Waggly wham, boyos! So yeah, I'm coming to you a little bit later this week just because I wanted to leave the other video a little bit longer to be the newest one and accrue some slight interest before I just rammed this at the top. Subscription feeds are fickle things, so here I go with the twit for last week when we're already pretty much into the next. But I haven't got a lot to show you from what I said last week, you can probably guess. But while I hold off just for a second on that, I would like to mention that, yeah, the shelf did change pretty quickly, but the sun's in my eyes. I'm not entirely sure that what it turned into is any better. I think I like the current setup even less than I did the previous one. I don't know, I think I'm starting to lose the sort of magic touch for actually constructing a nice looking display. So as I continue to squint at you, let's take a squint at this little Cyberverse Shockwave that, yes, I finally, put down the money for after seeing a couple of times, and I've got to say, it's definitely worth £9. I've got to say that. This has to be, I think it very well could be. It's at least up there with like the top 3, maybe the top 2. It could very well be the best Cyberverse command that I know about. It's only my second Beast Hunters one, but it is flawless, really. I can't really find anything wrong with this. It is so excellently shiny. Oh man, the paint it's out of this world. All this sort of purple stuff, oh god, it looks so good. And then there's a darker purple, and that's shiny too, and then there's silver. It's so nice, so polished and just perfectly done. And it's such a good looking design with it all as well. And there's like no kibble. I mean, he's got these sort of tread bits on his back, but doesn't Shockwave usually have something hanging off his back? So that's fine. The only thing that I could really say that is missing here is the hose for his gun. But how they have done that at this scale. And I'm sure you could just use a piece of string if you were really desperate. Yes, let's talk about this gun. It fires a missile into my printer. It's not really bad, as a gimmick goes. I'm sort of really happy that it's there, to be honest, because let's face it, if this figure came out last year, then it wouldn't have had the firing missile. It should have had the sort of static gun arm, wouldn't it? And he would have come with some just superfluous other gun, and he would have had a see-through chest. Well, the see-through chest might have been quite nice. The superfluous weapon and the sort of lack of action feature gun over here wouldn't have really just made it any good. I don't think it would have just been like, well, there's something missing here. So to have the Beast Hunters commanders all have firing missiles, it feels like that was a move made just so they could put Shockwave out and do him justice at this scale, and it really feels like they have done. I mean, yeah, it's it's only a little pressure launch mechanism that actually I took quite a while to work out how to fire it, but it's better than nothing, right? And yeah, the missile looks bad when it's in there. It's just a big sort of grey explosion, but take it out, it doesn't matter, does it? Overall, I just find this to be just a really nice little package, because it's a nice little small scale basic figure, but it's got a built-in action feature, and that just feels like that makes it so much better and so much more top notch and just fun, I suppose. The articulation is pretty damn good, broad-joints at the hips, and his knees, they seem to bend a bit too far up his leg, but they're there, arms going over the place, the gun arm too. His head doesn't move, but at this scale I'm used to that. But his feet, I guess, are what bother me. They bend that way to transform, and because they don't bend in any other direction, it just sort of, it means it's really hard to stand up because they are such a weird shape. Because his feet are all pointy and actually quite big, but completely flat, it's really hard to get him to stand up in a pose other than just stood there. So, I don't know, I don't really like that, I have to say. But, as far as I know, the Voyager one has the same problem. And I say as far as I know because that figure still hasn't come out over here. Great job, Hasbro UK. So yeah, Shockwave's feet, they don't really do anything that feet should do. But in a sort of, strange way, I quite like the design of the lower parts of his legs. It's got very sort of alien looking appendages down here, and there's a sort of look that carries through. He just looks very alien. There's a lot of, I guess, Dark of the Moon shockwave coming through in this, mixed with G1, and then you've got this slightly spikified, really burly looking shockwave in this form, and I think it is just an excellent design. And yeah, while he does look big and stocky, which isn't really something that is normal for shockwave, I suppose, it's only really the Dark of the Moon one that was that big, he does still retain a sort of air of malevolent intelligence. You can look at this and, you know, despite its size and build, you don't look at it and think it's some sort of burly lout that will just go rampaging and blowing stuff up, even though that might have been what he was in Dark of the Moon. This shockwave still belies an alien intelligence at his heart. Beneath this cyclopean, ever-glowing, expressionless eye, there is some sort of twisted imagination that plots the demise of every living thing. I've transformed him just because this is the only figure I've got to show you this week, and I might as well turn it into a little bit of a review. Not that you can really see it in this light. He does a weird tank mode, as far as I know, and what sort of little I suppose you see of it in the show. It does look pretty good, and quite accurate, I suppose. The weird pointy feet end up as like ploughs on the front, I suppose, and there's some nice wheels under there, and for a tank at this size, he rolls along quite nicely, which is good. The turret's on the top, so you can still fire the missile, and you can untab it and that'll turn around and go up and down. So really, in this mode, while it looks really weird, it doesn't really hold together, I'd say. The legs don't really tab in anywhere. It does what it needs to. So again, that's really good. The whole sort of very alien look from the robot mode, I suppose, is carried through here, because this is a really weird looking tank. I mean, it's just a really weird shape, and it's covered in harsh angled edges, but also sort of curved smooth bits, and it looks cool though, I guess, you know, and it's got the sort of chesty whatever that is on the front, so cool. That's actually a piece of vehicle mode for once, not just some strange window he has there for no reason. So that was Shockwave, and that was everything that I got in the last week. Although, if you're very eagle-eyed and you look over at the shelf, you'll see that there's something there that belies another purchase which I've made since. So yes, expect a look at another Constructbot sometime soon, and something else as well, which is sitting here right in front of me, just off camera, which I'm possibly about to film a little something about. So get slightly mystically excited, I don't know. Just before I succumb to the horrible lighting conditions in here and completely give up filming anything, I would just like to mention that recently I've been mucking about with these things again. If you don't know, if you're of this sort of age group that are basically too old to know what Bionicles are, it is a thing for my generation, really. There's probably some younger guys who don't know what it is as well, but you know, Hero Factory sucks, so chew on that. I've been nostalgicing hard for these bonkles here, really going to town, digging all of them out, putting them back together. So expect a video on them soon. It's not going to be anything sort of reviewish or anything, just to sort of look around them and a little bit of a show off for which ones I've got, but in a way that's filmed, well, at least I think, it's quite nice and imaginative, and it puts them in a setting. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking about Bionicle now, because I could really devote a whole video to it. It's something that is very dear to my heart, and it's something I've never really espoused about on video or anywhere on the internet, really. But the past few weeks have seen me definitely go mad for it again, and appreciate it in a whole new way, and realise what bits I really liked about it. Maybe some things that I didn't quite like about it, but what, you know, was the heart of this franchise that is just completely lost to the mists of time, and nothing else recaptures that. So I aim to sort of try to do that maybe in the video that I'm working on at the moment. So if you're interested in that, then look out for that, but I expect it to get hardly any views, because as far as I know, none of my subscribers are really into Bionicle, as far as I know. There might be a couple, but yeah, expect a little tangent in my videos in coming weeks. I don't know how long this video is going to take to edit. It's quite a bit of work, so we shall see, and you shall see, and I shall see thee on the flip side, as they say.